Hello and welcome back to the Pine League SEA tournament, brought to you by Pine Nation, of course, and co-organized by GatorRex. And my name is IRequestADuel, joined by SLlCE.
So, hi guys, welcome to Pine League Round Robin Day 2. And tonight we are gonna witness some very interesting matchups. So, a little recap on what happened yesterday. So, Team KDA went up against Rudolph Rogues 2-0, followed by we watched Upholders versus SLlCE going with 1-1 for both teams. So, Delta, can you talk a bit about Rudolph Ropes and how their situation is going for them right now?
Yeah, so in that first match, it was 2-0 in favor of Team KDA. We had a few technical difficulties yesterday, which did set us back a bit. Rue of Rogues decided to forfeit due to that. Uh, and yeah, so they are being replaced with Team Sarim, which were the upcoming qualifier team. And that will be going on from next weekend, obviously, with round two's matches. So Team Sarim will be coming in with 0 points, but obviously they still have a chance because the format, we'll also give a quick rundown, has been updated to we will have 3 weeks of round robin kind of style thing where the teams will go up against each other earning points, and then the top 4 teams with the most points will move on to our fourth week, which will be semi-finals where the teams are sorted randomly against each other into a third place match on Sunday and a final match also on Sunday. Those will be best of 3, with the finals being a best of 5. But going into today's matches, we've got Astral Esports going up against Neko faction first, and then Fearless going up against Team Evo X. But to take a closer look at this first match, just to one sec, there we go. So first match, we actually have the number 1 seed, Astral Esports, going up against the number 1 qualifying team, Neko faction. So I'm definitely excited to see this one. For the side of Astral Esports, we have Chili, Heaty, AE Gia, Deity Esports. Deity, why am I saying esports?
Deity
Deity Stars,
Stars.
I like look up at the same time to read their name. Deity Stars, Roly, Call Me Your Prince. And then for the side of Neko faction, we've got Lacia, OP, Son of Trump, Hades, Siri, and Crayon. So, ooh, I am excited, and I really don't know which team to call on this one. How are you feeling about this SLlCE?
Ooh, this is a very interesting matchup. Certainly a match to watch here. We both of these teams they have a bit of history. Like Astro Esports, we know them for their dominance in rank Q. We have seen them in the 5v5 show matches last year when 5v5 just came out, when they defeated Impunity, our SEA representatives at the WESG tournament. And on the other side, Neko faction, we have Lasha and OP who proved to be a very strong duo throughout the tournament. We have Crayon who should have been the caster for today, but today he's going to be on the other side of the tournament on the battlefield against Astro
I mean, we
Esports.
have possible caster with possible, like, well, not possible, with like the organizer, Hidi, one of the organizers. So interesting matchup there. Is Gatorex going to be playing in the tournament at any point?
I am not sure, but we will be witnessing Gatorex team playing later on when we see Team Fearless versus Team Evo
Okay.
X at 8:30 p.m.
Yeah, and with that, we're just getting the players sorted. A few last minute changes here, making sure everyone gets on in. And then we will be jumping right into draft, trying to get things going smoothly for today. But do let us know which team you guys are supporting in chat. We'll be keeping an eye on that. So, anything more? I guess that you might expect from either team coming into this one. You probably know them better than I do.
All right, so right now, Astral Esports, I would say they are still a very dominant force in SEA, but according to how much they play right now, I don't think they are playing as active as how they were in their prime days. And Neko faction actually plays quite a bit together, especially last year, and OP played a lot with the rest of Team KDA. So I can't wait to see because like Astral Esports has the skills, they have the mechanics. But one thing Neko faction has that I think that can also out like stand out more than just skills and mechanics itself is synergy. So I can't wait to see whether Neko faction can use their synergy to like try dominating their match against Astral Esports, or will they get out mechanic and Astral Esports ultimately take the 2-0 win from them. So can't wait to see how this match is going, and I wish both teams all the best.
Yeah, for me, I think I'm kind of a fan of Neko faction after the qualifier matches we had last weekend. Of course, I've seen players from Astral Esports team play, as you mentioned, in rank Q. They come up a fair bit, and I have a lot of respect for the players on both teams. It is definitely too hard to call right now. We'll have to, make our judgment kind of based off the first game, see who really shows the dominance, or if we're going to see a more even traded game. But with that, we're just waiting to get into draft, and there we go. We are into draft of game number 1 between Astral Esports and Neko Faction. It is day 2, by the way, so first game of the day, but this is technically match free for round 1. And we have Astral Esports over on the left side and Neko Faction on your right. So Astral, gonna start it off with the Grumpjaw ban. No disagreement there, really. And it's for the most part standard banning. I'd say for the current meta we're in, it's very structured a lot of the time in what to expect, and nothing really too surprising. Baron makes sense. Uh, Here we might see Samfang or Yates. They could go for that Lance ban. The Lance ban would be interesting because a lot of the time we see that it's actually the right side picking up that Lance pick alongside Yates, so they could be trying to cut that off. But this Churnwalker ban here, possibly a targeted ban. They're going to go for the Yates instead. And we've seen team comps kind of compromise with that. They still pick up the Yates on red side, but they just run it with something else, like we've seen it being run with Grace before, maybe even Lorelei. It's just about getting that CC into your team comp, having that in your
Now
kit and available.
Neko going for that Samfeng ban, it's pretty expected. Samfeng, you get caught in his ultimate, pretty much a lot of heroes can actually just combo since Samfeng ultimate just immobilizes you. And we
Oh,
see a lance picked up by Astro Esports.
yeah, that's I guess they really put priority on that, and they let the Magnus go over to the side of Neko. So I'm surprised there. That I would have expected the usual draft to be that if Magnus was let through, they would end up with Magnus, and it would be Neko who end up with Lance and say someone else. But they're gonna go with the Adagio pick second, more likely. Definitely a priority pick right now. Very strong bot laner, a lot of sustain, a lot of damage and just poke he can put out. So not a
I
bad
mean,
pick at all.
Adagio,
Yep.
safe pick. You can flex him into mid, top, bot.
Now
Like, he could work.
I don't agree with this SLlCE
Oh,
pick,
yeah.
just because of the fact that Neko faction already have Magnus. It's highly unlikely they would take Celeste unless they really wanted to just take it away from Astral. So I think they could have done something else there, maybe like pick their own bot laner, but we'll see about that.
I think, yeah, that Celeste pick was a little unnecessary. They could have taken a hero from another lane because if the enemy pick their mid laner, there's no point in taking another mid laner trying to deny a pick. is just a little unnecessary, and they could have taken something like the Gwen or the Kinetic, whichever would work better for their bot laner.
I'm kind of annoyed because I had in-game sound working just before stream, and then now that stream's actually live, it's like, actually, I don't want to work. So you guys are gonna have to bear with us. Just have to listen to our voices. Hopefully there's enough for you. Or we could make random little sound effects when people lock in, when people shoot their guns. And here's Heedy. Who are they gonna lock in? Or are they gonna dodge?
It's the Lorelei.
The Lorelei. And Lorelai's one of those supports that we mentioned just earlier that is very strong just because of her kit. The AoE stun alongside Lance, who has AoE impale, the rooting effect. It's very strong put together. And being able to her ultimate can also be quite strong with saving the carries, and then you've just got a passive which will slow the enemies down, hopefully making them easier to hit with more CC, more skill shots, and such. I'm liking the Astral Esports comp like draft right now. It's looking good, but Neko faction not bad either. I mean, they've got the Magnus, the Gwen, the Adagio, I think are all strong picks. Ooh, Maline, her kit
Marlene.
is good, but I don't know how she fits into this current meta. Do you have any opinions on that?
I have no idea how she fits into the current meta, but we shall see. But ultimately, I think Chile that pick up on Reza against Crayon, Lasha, and Orb. If he gets fed, he's got to burst three of these squishies down a little quicker if he manages to catch them out. But we just have to see how this match plays out.
Yep. So once again, guys, first match of the day. Astral Esports up against Neko faction, and looking at these drafts, ooh, I did say I am liking Astral Esports, but I'm always a fan of, as a mid lane main, I have to be a fan of like whenever someone's allowed to play Magnus because he gets banned away most of the time. So when we get to see Magnus, it's definitely I'm hoping for some big plays there, especially with the ultimate. The I was actually reading up, and I learned what it was earlier today, and then I've already forgotten it. Well, I think Neko faction coming in here as the underdogs. Obviously, they had to get through qualifiers to be here, but from what I've seen from these guys, definitely impressed already, and hoping for the best for them as they go up against the number one seed.
I feel Neko faction certainly people might consider them as the underdogs in this matchup, but I feel that they really earned their spot to be here today, and I can't wait to see what they bring up to the table to Astro Esports.
Yeah, and here we go. Same. Oh no, this was the mistake I was talking about. See that change in position? If that camera had just been back where it was before, just back like half a meter, it wouldn't have been spotted out by the camera, and they still could have had river vision, or control over that area of the jungle where they're able to see anyone rotating up, anyone rotating into their jungle from that position. But that's going to be a lost camera for them, and maybe Neko faction can learn from that one. That's not the best placement because you're going to lose it early on, especially when Siri, right after that, rotates to help with the blue, and now has to put down a second camera. So either just put in the bush where it is now, or a bit into the river, but not that far out. So here we go into the start of the game. And fairly standard right now, fairly even across the board, and rotations actually mirroring each other right now. If anything, we might see some action down in the bot lane in a second if Reza decides to go down there and gank, but it looks like for now it's fairly pushed up. They have the vision there. Adagio should be fine, but Chile just going to be able to push that wave in. Meanwhile, mid lane is also trading. Looks like OP going to back in that mid. So I guess what we could start with is if anything really stands out in the builds here. I would say Rolly, I'm not too sure about like how I feel about this flare gun first. What Oh my, Lorelei just gonna go down. First blood over to Neko faction. I was too busy looking at the builds, I didn't even see that health drop. But as I was saying, Rolly, I don't know how I feel about that flare gun. I see how it could be good into the mid game, making sure you always have something for vision over dragons. Deity Stars getting poked out a fair bit, needs to be careful. And here comes Chili and Rolly for the assist.
So about that flag gun, right? So we saw Blair doing that twice yesterday in Team KDA versus Will of Rogues. Always starting with that flag gun and the boots, trying to get that early vision. Crayon taking a bit of help from Chili and starting to back off here.
Yeah, it looks like Chili should be fine. He's going to rotate to the Crystal Treant, but does not know that this vision is going to put down his own camera to realize that. Makes the smart decision to use Troublemaker to get out of there for now. Rolly going to go in, however, trying to steal it, taking a fair amount of damage in return. A bit risky there. Should be able to clear out this camera. And they're going to be able to do so.
Just coming out from Neko, knowing that they have caught a member of AE out and trying to deal as much damage as they can with every free opportunity given to them.
But yeah, back to that flare gun. We saw it yesterday, but it's something I haven't seen prior to that. Usually I would think, if anything, maybe a support will sometimes go for a Stormguard banner as well, so you have multiple Stormguard banners on your team. It's definitely meta in EA to do so, and it's that Stormguard banner into tier 3 boots kind of tactic, where you're really focusing on objectives and rotating. So... oh, nice fish food bit, stun up Crayon and Siri. Deity Star's going in a bit deep, not sure about that positioning, and there's going to be the stun, the Chrono Trigger onto Rolly, and Death number 2 racking up. Neko faction taking that one, putting it in the bag. Quick rotation up to top as we see Chili gank onto SLlCE, but not really going to be able to get much else out of that one. But as Slice, so would you care to explain? I mean, is your team yesterday, KDA, that actually pulled out the flare gun? Do you know the reasoning behind this?
I'm actually not sure. After the match, Blair didn't say much. We were just talking about how those two picks, like, because we were actually surprised at one point when we were talking about it. We thought about it and we were like, Blair didn't buy Fountain early on, right? Like, because the build that we witnessed from Blair was just
Hades ganked on. They're able to pick up a kill, and the snipe from Heedy will secure it, but here comes OP on the Malign. It's going to rotate down, catches out Chili. And Chili going to move back to where Rolly is, but they get caught. The Chrono Trigger, but never formed Danair to escape that one. Rolly now going to be the next target. Here comes Deity Stars trying to support that team, but nothing they can do right now. OP might catch them out with the root, and they managed to do so. The stun barely missing from Magnus, and Deity Stars going to be able to escape that one. So a 1-for-1 trade out there, I believe. But yeah, sorry to cut you off. So you're talking that is more about, and yeah, we were surprised with the off-mare picks that came through, and KDA still managed to make that work.
So I think that's a really good flex on KDA, like in terms of their hero pool. But I am thinking whether AE will try to perform the same thing today. They are gonna do that War Threats build, trying to get onto Neko quickly instead of just playing passive and fountain each other.
Yep.
So we see Lasha getting pushed back in the top lane solo.
Yeah, this Lance pick we talked about yesterday. Lance, a good pick into Gwen, a good pick into Baron. I would say more so into Baron, because Gwen obviously has her skedaddle to get out of the Impale, but you can already see how much more damage that SLlCE has taken in that top lane. And here comes Gia coming back. Goes for the Impale, and look at that damage! They get the Giphian Wall, but they have the Halcyon Potion. They're going to be able to survive that one, and in fact, they decide to back off, knowing that if they get jumped on again, they probably would not be able to. And there's going to be Chili diving on in under tower to pick up the kill onto OP, in fact. And now Crayon just trying to defend this one, but ooh, the damage coming through from Deity Stars is big. This could be an opportunity to start Ghost Wing. He's going to go down around the pit, but they're just going to be moving down to that bot lane that needs to be pushed out once again. Dead Stars, stun, not going to hit there, but Crayon going low. They need to land one more. Oh my god, the turnaround with the Seraphic Flare, and they get the kill, actually going over into Siri's hands. So not really the person you want picking up the kill bounty, but either way, a kill in their favor. Currently 4-2 for the side of Neko. And they have the, it's actually Astral Esports with the gold lead, just slightly by a few hundred right now. And we're going to see Lyra, Siri on that Lyra, making the rotation up. They have the Arcane Passage ready if they choose to engage, but more or less just making sure that Astral disengage for now.
But yeah, top lane is being pressured from the side of Neko, at least on Nashia's bot lane. He's getting pressured down by AE, Tia, and Chili is now just clearing the wave.
Just looking at the mid now as Deity Stars going to get ganked. They're going to take the tower, make sure to at least get that. They do have the water wall around them just for a second, but there's too many people on the Neko faction side ganking them there. And here comes Gia in with the Impale onto SLlCE, picks up the kill, positioning himself behind the team, puts down the Giffian wall, but the rest of Astral a bit low in this situation, not really ready to go in for the gank. So trade 1-for-1 with a turret in favor of Astral, definitely going in Astral's favor right now. Heedy trying to get onto Siri, but they need to be careful of Crayon there as he's dealing out the damage. He still has the Seraphic Flare, but there goes the Solar Storm. And they are going to just back out for now on the side of Neko faction. OP coming along, but the Seraphic Flare, he kept it in the pocket, just waiting until Heedy wasn't expecting it. Lets it off when they thought they were safe and picks up the kill. So really liking Crayon here on this Magnus. Definitely making good use of that ultimate, just barely misses, getting stunned up by the fish food. He's going to have to back out here. OP deep in the enemy jungle right now, catches out Chili. It's going to be going on this Gold Oak, but needs to be careful for the counter gank, for rotation coming down from mid. Deity Stars and Broly looking for OP. They do have the pressure on in the bot lane, thankfully, and that's going to be Hades picking up the bot tower for themselves. So, right now, do they have the top tower still? 1 second, they do, so it's 1-for-1, mid tower for bot tower. Fairly even right now.
Isn't big either.
Yeah, 26.5 for Astral, over to 26.3 for Neko faction. So I think it'll definitely change within the next big team fight, and especially it opens up a possibility to take the Ghost Wing. So we have to see how that goes. You can see OP starting on the Crystal Treant. Might want to give this one over to Crayon, make sure he gets that lifesteal that he needs. Looking up to the top lane, SLlCE holding off here, is taking a fair bit of poke damage from Heedy. There's the Solar Storm, and it destroys them. The Spellfire with a Heavy Prism and Heavy Crystal and Eclipse Prism is all that Deity Stars needed to take them out. They're going to be able to get the top tower off the back of that. There's going to be Heedy diving on into Neko, gets caught up, rooted, and Arcane Passage out of there from Siri. OP manages to just go invulnerable for a second, but meanwhile in the mid lane is getting pushed down. They need to be careful of that. Ult comes through, OP decides to body block that one, making sure Siri stays alive, but minion wave still pushing up, and over waves in fact being pushed right now by the side of Astral Esports. Deity Stars not going to get caught out by the Aces High, manages to back off from this one for now. And yeah, over meanwhile, we see Hades going up against Gia. He puts down the Arcane, not the Arcane Passage, Verse of Judgment, but it's not going to be enough. And it hasn't ended up in top. They're still going for it, pushing Neko faction back into their base, taking their jungle as they go. Ooh, Crayon there, big plays, but he misses the Seraphic Flare. That ultimate not going to hit. We're going to see whether Rolly able to boots out of there. So Astral, I'm not too sure. They got a lot in terms of pressure, but they didn't really get any big objectives out of that. We can see Gia working on that tier 2 tower, but I don't think they'll be able to get this one either. However, now they've pushed Neko back. They could consider starting Ghost Wing, but I think they'll look to take one more fight before that.
Rolly apparently this time he didn't buy war threats like Blair did yesterday. He instead went for the fountain, the safe option, knowing that maybe Neko's a harder team.
There's going to be the fish fruits onto Melina, and there's Reza diving into the backline of Neko faction, trying to pick up a kill, but he's not going to find it. Instead, Chili having to back out versus Judgment, stunts up the kinetic, but they get the kill. Magnus in with the ult, gets the double, and there's going to be the Solar Storm coming on through, just barely misses Neko faction, and Gia trying to escape with his life, picks up the kill onto the Melina before going down. A last honorable effort before he dies. And here comes SLlCE a bit late to the party. Only really effect they had there earlier was the Solar Storm that came through, but then they're going to get caught out with the Aces Higher 1v3 situation. Not really the best for them there. Surprised Neko faction didn't decide to try and take the Ghost Wing after that one, but I think they're just happy to be back in the game right now. Rolly playing aggressive, moving forwards. There's going to be the block coming out from Crayon, and Heedy diving on in. They're going to be able to pick up that kill with ease alongside Chili. And now Astral back in control. At least they have the man advantage once SLlCE is back up. And they're going to make that rotation to top, but Gwen already backing. And instead, they've decided to go for Black Claw. They're like, well, we're here already. We have the man advantage. We'll take this instead of Ghost Wing. I know a lot of teams like to take Ghost Wing for that security, for that buff, just to help you in team fights. Neko faction know what's going on, but they can't stop it. And there's going to be the catch onto Siri, the core collapse, and Melina trying to back off from that one. Should be safe for now. Solar Storm going to hit, but not really going to be able to confirm anything. And now they have Black Claw pushing down on this already half-health tier 2 tower. And Astral Esports looking strong in composition right now as they push on into the base of Neko faction. They need to be careful of those arcane marks and the ult coming out from Crayon on that Magnus.
So far, Crayon making so many plays, carrying the team of Neko faction, and
Heedy diving over the wall. They are going to get hit by the base there and not really be able to capitalize on that, but brave move indeed. And here we see that, I guess it's another option that you push Black Claw into the enemy base, you let them deal with it, and then you go for Ghost Wing. But we can see that vision that just expired was up from Neko faction, so they know what's going on. The question is, are they ready to contest it? Siri is nearby, so is Hades. There's going to be the Imperial Sigil, but no steal. And Hades getting caught out instantly, uses the block, but is it enough to escape? Chili is onto them with the Neverform down there. Big money with the Solar Storm to pick up the kill. And we see the Root actually catching out the Lance right now. They need to be careful, everyone, with the arcane mark on them. If they chase in too deep, they could fall into the hands of Crayon, but he's going to get caught out with the Imperial... No, with the... Impale, that's what I was thinking of, and he's not going to get the fountain in time. This could be game for Astral. In fact, they take down their armory, and they're going to move on through, not going to catch out OP, but they do find that of Gwen. Skedaddle's not going to save you from that arcane passage into the base to find the safety, but they don't have the damage to take them down, and Adagio just going to get stunned out of that ultimate, trying to hold on for whatever's left, but we can see them cleaning up now. Astral going to take the first game 15-11, 16 minutes in, so really pushing it there towards the end to finish that game. And yeah, really capitalizing on all the team fights they had.
Very beautiful game played by Astral Esports right there. I think like pretty much the whole thing went down when Neko faction started losing a fight. Like even though they had a comeback fight, however the goal lead was on the side of AE, and that catch out onto Crayon certainly gave AE a lot of goal bounty right there, because Magnus was really fat and he had 0 death, so like his goal bounty was really high, and it certainly gave AE even more goal and the chance to just go for Black Claw. Like that Black Claw push was really beautiful, and Yeah, this team, they are definitely well coordinated, I would say, and I want to see what they can do in game two. Or will Neko faction come out with a new strategy after this game once they already just see what their opponents are capable of in this matchup?
Yeah.
So,
So
but
we'll just get this next draft started. We're seeing checking on some final things. I think maybe I've seen in my chat Siri might have been lagging in game. However, it seems to be a server side issue rather than an internet issue. Sadly, there's SEA, and why you sound like Slice. Says I'm asking Crayon why you sound like Slice, why Slice sounds like Crayon. Either way, we've heard that a few times, haven't we?
yes.
A few people asking who I'm casting with. But to remind you guys once again, I'm Doubtabaka. I mean, streaming on my channel, otherwise known as IRequestADuel, and I'm casting alongside Slice. So, as you guys can see, Crayon's actually been playing today on the side of Astral Neko faction.
No, guys, I'm Crayon. I'm casting my own plays.
Yeah, Crayon's casting his own plays.
I crashed. So is the game gonna start? Or I think it's a draft issue. Because I
Well,
was lagging on us again.
yeah, it seems to be server side issue. Let's see. Oh, we'll go a few. Is that maybe just my side, or do you also see a few players on the side of Astral not in?
No, no, I also see it. I also see it. I
Okay.
think they really crashed. Could we cancel the match and ask
VG
to
buttery
restart?
smooth as always.
It's always trustworthy.
Yeah, Sujidas, I closed my laptop with VG because right now I'm specking on my laptop, and when I close it, it usually should go to sleep. But I opened it today and saw I had 24 hours recorded on Steam, OP review stats, and I had like several different invites from players into parties. I'm glad
Oh,
people want to play with me, but I did not know that's on all night. Well, I was up until 4 a.m. last night doing this though. So guys understand that when we have these like technical issues like right now, it's not just the players, it's not just the viewers that's like kind of takes a toll on it is us as casters as well. We're just trying to get this going. We want to work as much as you guys do. Um, but yeah, so hoping things go smoother tonight. Hopefully, we can get into the second match in just a second. As it will be best of two, it can go either way. Both teams can win a point each, is possible. As by the end of week three, so the end of round three, all the points will be accumulated, and the top four teams will move on to the semifinals, where we will have semifinals on Saturday, third place and finals on Friday. Third place kind of to be decided on the time, but we might try for an earlier stream with that.
yes. All right. So speaking about the last game, I think what could have been done better on Neko faction side is also they have to inform each other like where the enemies are last seen or where you think the enemy might show up.
Hmm.
It's like, all right. So one advice I've heard from Pepe Tapia, who is the analyst of Tribe Gaming, he told me that because at the time I was coaching this team and they always say enemy missing in this lane, enemy missing in that lane. He said
Yeah,
this shouldn't be the case. Instead, the players should be saying, I think this guy is going
where
up
they're
to top
rotating.
lane.
Yeah, so people get more of an idea because when you see enemy missing, sometimes you'll just concentrate on what's going on. But luckily, here we are into draft number two. We'll see how Neko faction go about this. I didn't have a problem with that draft. I would agree with you. That was definitely more about
The
positioning in team comps
gameplay.
or like yeah the gameplay there, especially a lot of the time. I my worry was when we saw was it the side of Neko faction actually? I'm wondering about that. where
I
SLlCE
mean,
wasn't in the fight, but SLlCE was no, SLlCE was on Astral's team, so that was just a
that is
mistake by Astral in that case. But generally, Neko, we've seen them in the qualifiers. We saw the control of the game that they had when they were ahead, but it's this playing behind slightly that really they weren't there to contest a lot of the dragons. They didn't contest the Black Claw, and in fact, Lorelei ended up getting caught out when trying to contest that, sadly. So I
I
know
think this is a smart ban from the Sound Neko. Like,
the SLlCE ban. It's a targeted ban, I
so
suppose.
let's it's a little bit problematic to deal with because if you realize, like, even if Deity Stars couldn't make it to a fight, he will always fire his Solar Storm over and try to hit someone
Oh, look at
because
this. Magnus. If Neko do not take
ooh,
Magnus, I will be very surprised. But of course, Grumpjaw still available. Yates, a lot of OP picks because they chose to go for the Celeste ban instead. And let's see, they're going to go for the Magnus, and it just makes sense. In my opinion, Magnus, when you've banned Celeste already, there aren't many mid laners that can stand up to him and trade evenly with him. But they are going to allow the side of Astral to possibly pick up that Yates and that of the Grumpjaw or Adagio, it looks like. So Grumpjaw, Neko could consider would be a good front line into their team. And that really helps whenever you've got a Magnus on your team. I think it is so important to make sure you have a strong front line, which was kind of what we were missing that last game. I would say Gwen couldn't really do it. Adagio possibly could have. Uh, Lyra is more about
let's
getting the
see
enemies off
what's
of
going
them with the
on.
bright bulwark. But right now,
Ooh,
this is
picking that
really good.
Lance.
This is really good. The Lance, the Grumpjaw, that's a really nice front line to complement the Magnus pick. So I'm looking once again, Neko doing a great job on the draft, and just wondering how they're going to finish off that comp. Obviously, looking for support and a bot lane pick. But here we see the Scarf being picked up on the side of Astral, and Scarf we saw was quite strong in the hands of Tyke in the last match that we saw yesterday.
Yesterday.
Yeah, so I was at first I was like Scarf is good, but I don't know how good. And then we saw just the use of that Dragon's Breath, the strength of that. Uh, we see now that Neko faction going to go with the Gwen pick once again. When you can't pick Baron, I would say Gwen and Kinetic up there as top picks. Gwen Kinetic, and I guess you could say Adagio as well, but Adagio obviously being prioritized by the side of Astral. Joe I'm not such a fan of personally. I know she's strong, but I just I no, I don't. I used to play a Love Jewel, but now I'm just not such a fan of it because it can be you can go in and if your team
Ooh.
isn't there and you try turn around, it can really fall back against you. Um,
Oh, something we haven't seen
oh, the
throughout the whole
Kensei pick.
tournament.
Oh my, this is more exciting than the Tony pick because Kensei. Ooh, I'm really
Kensei
interested
had
to
a
see how this
rework.
works out.
Kensei had a rework that tried to bring him at least back into a mid-tier pick. And I can't wait to see how AE uses Kensei because throughout the whole tournament we have seen a bit of meta picks here and there, but Kensei this because Kensei based on my personal experience after fighting him like after the rework, he has a lot of sustain in his kit now. Like you won't expect him to be able to last so long against bursty heroes like Gwen in the top lane, but Kensei is a very surprising pick from AE, and I can't wait to see what AE Jia can pull off with his Kensei.
Yeah, and this it's gonna be interesting because you've got to think about really hard C as the best counter to Kensei. Right now, that's the meta. You are playing into a CC meta where we see a lot of CC, we see a lot of burst. Is a lot of the key here. I guess he's gonna have trouble with that of Finn once he gets his level 8 Quibble, and Crayon with that Chrono Driver, unless he can dodge out. It's going to be tough, at least, to say. Lance rooting him could also pose a problem. So, I'm also, it's really hard to think about this one as we don't see Kensei being played often, not recently at least. So, hard to say. Look at this, the invade coming through by Neko faction right onto the weapon tree, and Kensei has no idea about it right now. I mean, he saw them go in with that vision, and it looks like they're going to go for the trade down the bot. But he doesn't have any deeper vision like they do right there next to the Gold Oak. So they're going to be able to steal both of those away. The question is, how much can the side of Astral Esports get in return? They've managed to take the red buff so far. I don't think they got the gold, or I can't see on the map right now, but perhaps they did get even trade out as the gold is even right now. We've got 4.2 to 4.3, so pretty much even there. Nothing to really complain about. But look at this. Kensei already extremely low. Has to back. Yeah, and you were talking about the Kensei into Gwen, but we're actually seeing Kensei into Lance in this case.
So this is quite interesting because I've expected like TT to use that Adagio in bot lane and Kensei to the top lane. But right now we are actually seeing TT using Adagio into the top lane and putting his Kensei at bot. So this might be something interesting to
I
watch.
mean, I think it means they're going to win out that bot lane. Because Adagio has that where he's able to go top or bot. I think he's quite strong at the moment in that sense. I'm just wondering how well Kensei will play out into this Lance. I think if Lance misses, if OP on that Lance misses his impales, then he can get punished for it. But Lance is kind of hard to stick to, so it's going to be hard to put the damage down onto him. Whether Kensei tries to jump onto him, Lance can just give in and wall him back. So, yeah, we'll have to see about that right now as they're trading out here. You can see Kensei already backing out that. Oh, could be an engagement down here in Neko faction's red side jungle. Rolly on the Yates going to pull the weaponry back to them. Looks like Crayon going to still be able to secure that one. Rolly going to get caught out here for the first blood. Quibble comes down onto Chili, and they're going to be able to pick up the kill. 2-0 going in favor of Neko faction to start this game. If I'm not wrong, Neko faction did manage to get the first few kills last game as well.
Yes. Neko faction, I would say one of the strengths of this team is they are very good at punishing players for their mistakes. Like they are able to identify opportunities where the enemy has overestimated their abilities and they are able to punish them for it by either dealing a lot of damage or just going in for ganks when they are together.
Okay, that's going to be Rolly taking the red buff, securing it for his team, so no favor for Neko faction right now, and it's kind of funny that for Neko faction, Crayon was actually the one to get the red buff, so not the best, but I mean, hey, Naz autos might do a bit more damage.
I would say like if in a fight between who will get a buff and stuff like that, like if the enemy team is contesting, it doesn't matter who gets the buff. As long as your team gets it, that's it. Because it's still a lot better in the situation where the enemy team gets it, right?
Yeah. We see Lacia taking a Spitfire to the face, into the goop, into the Wolves more, and Rolly just runs on in there with the stun to overpower them, overwhelm, I believe. And now we see a 4-man rotation coming down to bot lane. Suri taking a lot of damage there, forced to use the block, turns around with the Quibble, but not going to find anyone. Hades gets pulled back, but he's fairly tanky, should be alright with that. And the rest of the team just focusing on the tower. But they did leave Magnus, Crayon, on this Magnus alone in mid. He should be able to get a decent amount of damage, a decent bit of poke onto this. Not going to be able to take anything just yet. But knows to back off. Might even decide to go top with this opportunity. Stopping by the shop for now. Will he catch out Gia on that, trying to back there, but no, Gia able to get back to the safety of that tower, and I just realized Edie going in a bit deep, forced to use their boots to get out of the enemy jungle for now. So currently 13.8 over to 13.5, once again keeping it even in terms of gold, and kills fairly even, 2-1. So nothing too big, but this is what we saw last game. For most of the early game, it was fairly even between the two teams, and then Astral just took it in the team fight phases. They made the early rotations, they made the aggressive plays, and we saw a bit of that just before, where Astral trying to commit to that bot lane, but now it's going to be Heedy in trouble, gets caught out in the aces high, and that's going to be a kill. Another one over to Neko faction. Oh, Crayon in the mid gets caught out, but with the Wolf's Maw, forced to use the boots, and this is another thing of why we say, or why I think a lot of people have noticed the meta, or very strong meta, in fact, is that of Tier 3 boots and Stormguard banner, because we see Stormguard banner, especially on the side of Astral, it's actually across 4 of their heroes. Scarf has even taken it, and that definitely helps with securing the jungle, and especially that blue buff in that case.
He's just managed to take a steal of the enemy healing Treant, barrier Treant as they call it right now. So we see 3-man rotation coming into bot with the side of Astral Esports. Lasha just clearing lane. Crayon is aware of this, and he also comes to join Neko faction at bot. And now we see 4-man deity stars following along his teammates. 4-man rotation at bot. Please get pulled in.
Meanwhile, Gia more than likely going to go down to OP up in the top, but Deity in the spot lane going to use the Dragon's Breath, stops just before that quibble, and then is able to pick up the kill onto Heedy there, and Rolly going in deep, and we saw finally OP going to take out Gia, so it's Astral with the advantage here, pushing down this tower that has barely any health left. Deity Star's not quite able to poke it down yet, though. Rolly in a dangerous situation, needs to be careful. Crayon does have the ult up if they decide to use it, but needs to be careful knowing that they don't really have the damage to take down a tank like that. Over meanwhile, OP taking down that top tower. There's going to be the arcane marks onto a lot of the enemies, but instead using it to try take out the Jewel, who got finished off by Lascia. And now Crayon pushing up kind of far. Needs to be careful about that good positioning by Rolly there into the back, but no stun. Is going to get punished for it. Adagio able to take out Siri there. So really back and forth between these two teams. Hard to say who was winning that one out.
Right now, we see Neko faction with a bit of a goal lead here. Not too much, but still a little reasonable for them. And yeah, this game is going, I think, a lot more smoother than the previous game. We'll just have to see how the fights go down in the next few minutes.
Ooh, see what I mean about that. The Stormguard banner, I'm not sure if it helped there, but able to secure that blue for himself with just an auto. And yeah, I definitely... I really can't use that kind of build because I think it has to be used in this kind of pro environment where your whole team is going to commit to it. Otherwise, I tend to not go for Stormguard banner as a mid laner, just in either solo or 3-man party rank. But we'll see here. Hades trying to gank into the bot lane, and Scarf actually getting forced into a bad situation, going to get picked up by Hades. And now Ghostwing could be the next objective of choice for them as they continue to put pressure down on the bot lane here. Heedy fairly low. This could be the chance. OP going to go dive in. Misses the Impale Chili with the Rocket Leap. Not going to land on, not going to really be able to get much out of that, but stopping Hades from further engaging. Heedy still sticking around, needs to be so careful as Crayon just comes out of nowhere with the rotation down. Definitely Neko faction overall playing much better as a team. This is kind of what we saw them last week, and they're the ones in control right now. A much smoother game for them, as you said, and we might see them start to snowball this as it's 10-3, 26k over to 24.7. So they have a 2k gold lead right now, but They really need to make use of this and start going for some objectives.
I think just now they could have went for the goal swing, but they decided to stick around, and ultimately that paid off. They caught TT off guard. They got a kill out of Chile, and that was really good.
Yeah, and look at that, Deity Stars turning the fight around with the Dragon's Breath. We talked about how strong that is. And they instantly take out the Lance and Grumpjaw. That's going to be a last-ditch effort from Seri trying to pull them under tower. Is able to help pick up that kill onto Gia. Now Crayon defending this top, but they need to be careful. Mid is left open. We can see Gwen right now trying to make the rotation up there. But not sure if they're going to be able to get there in time. Probably, considering still half health on that tower. But here comes another minion wave pushing in. Not sure if they can clear them in time. They're able to. Heedy going low to Lassia. Needs to be careful. The ace is high onto Chili. The pull over the wall from Rolly. Big red burn comes on through. Crayon trying to help out with this Seraphic Flare. And now OP diving in deep. Could try catch out Deity Stars in this situation. Needs his team to back him up. Here's Crayon coming along, trying to take him down in a good position right now, and they're going to be able to pick up the kill onto Deity. So Neko faction, they had a bit of a slip there, but they're coming back right now, still maintaining the lead overall in terms of kills, in terms of gold. So in a decently comfortable position, I'd say.
Right now, yep, this is a lot better than the previous game. The previous game, like at 11 minutes, they were already losing in the goal lead. They were losing big fights,
Ooh.
but game's going a lot more stable for Neko faction right now.
Ooh, Rolly so very low. Needs to be careful of that passive, especially when the arcane marks explode. And it does leave the team vulnerable, open to getting caught out in that. Oh, Gia, obviously team told him that Finn and Magnus were coming up, so makes a safe back away for now. You can see Deity Stars continuing to push that mid lane, sees that the tower's low. Not sure if they'll be able to take this one. Gonna be able to land a Spitfire and a Goop onto it, so it could be possible here. But Crayon gonna turn around, looking for the stun. Will go for the ult more than likely, but Fountain forced out at least from Astral. This is good for them, but Hade's getting caught up in there. Manages to use a block to not get stunned out by the Jewel. They need to be careful of the Goop. Is Scarf just on the sidelines right now, and they're going to miss Crayon actually missing that ultimate, and we'll have to see. No one really paying attention to Deity Stars. He's able to just be a nuisance on the sideline for now, but up to top it's going to be Lassia catching out Gia. They managed to get that top tower as a trade, but not sure how worth is. Deity Stars just a sliver of health left, and maybe sticking around for a bait possibly, but no, just decides to go back to base. Does not want to risk that one. So, as we said, Neko faction, they're in the lead right now. It's a better game for them, but Astral still keeping up, I'd say. For although they are behind, they're definitely keeping up with things. And at any moment, if they win a team fight, could really turn things around. The gold lead is only within 1.5k difference, 35.3 for the side of Astral, and 36.6 for that of Neko. So right now, it's getting close, and as I said before, Neko just have to make use of the advantage they have and go for objective. But I think they might have waited too long and let Astral, get a bit too comfortable. So we'll have to see what happens here as Rolly getting caught out into the Quibble. Siri now level 8, able to stun up with that, and there's going to be Grumpjaw. Hades with the chase, able to help secure that kill. Chili turning around with the rocket leap in, but gets mounted instantly. And now Deity Stars not too sure if they should commit, but they turn around with the Dragon's Breath, and they're going to be able to pick up the Magnus, Grumpjaw, and the Gwen, the double kill. And almost the aces. OP, the last one standing, and this is what I warned them about. Astral Esports with the turnaround here as they move on to the Ghost Wing.
The problem with Neko faction now is, like you're saying, yeah, they let Astral Esports get into a comfortable position, but
as OP. Not
OP
sure what he could do. Is he going to try go for the steal? No, he's backing out, gets pulled back in with the Wolf's Maw. He's going to get taken down, and a Ghost Wing over to Astral.
The sad thing here is that while Neko were winning the fights early game, they should have instead looked for ghost wings.
Hmm.
They should have looked for those opportunities, right?
Yeah, a lot
Neko
earlier
just
on. Maybe I'd say the 10-minute mark, in fact, whereas they left it quite a while and uh, allowed Astral to get these small advantages to come back. And I think if they want any chance of turning this around once again in their favor, they need to catch out Deity Stars with some hard CC, because if he's left alone, even if he gets rooted, he's still able to make use of that Dragon's Breath. And you can just see the difference, the confidence that Astral have already moving on to this Black Claw. They do get spotted out by the side of Neko faction. They're going to go for the steal, but they don't manage to get it. Now they need to back out. There's going to be Dragon's Breath coming on through. Doesn't really land onto anyone, but Lance going to put himself in the midst of danger. Needs to be careful. Big Red Button is maybe going to take them out with the more wound, but OP just barely able to escape. And now it is Astral with the engage into this mid lane, pushing on through with the Black Claw. Things could fall apart within a second if Neko faction are not able to defend their base. But we'll have to see. Here's a few of the players from Astral actually making the rotation down to the bot lane as they see SLlCE left alone. Gia going to go in for the engagement, tanking up the tower shots as Heedy just going to move on through to pick up that kill onto Gwen. And back to the mid lane, it's going to be Joe getting caught out by Finn, actually, who's going to be able to pick up that kill. Hades trying to go into Deity Stars, but the team needs to make the call, to make the commitment to really go for the Scarf as they put them right in front of Crayon, but that's going to be Hades going down, mounted within a second as the rest of Astral join in the fight. Good quibble under tower onto Rolly, but not really going to do too much to them. They managed to save their base tower for now, so not all is lost, but they did lose a bot tower in the middle of that. They lost Gwen, they lost Grumpjaw. Astral looking a lot stronger once they've taken the lead.
certainly, and like Neko is just, they had a lead, but if you get so many kills but you can't get anything out of your kills, then it's a bit wasted in a way. Like, because if you kill someone, right? So if you kill someone, the enemy team is one man down, and within that time, it leaves certain parts of the map open for map control. And I have to pause right there because a fight is going on right here.
Oh, cameraman OP, who is this guy? Fire him now, please. Just looking at Twitch chat, but we'll see. Deity Stars going in once again with the engagement, using the Dragon's Breath. Adagio actually picking up 2 of those kills. And look at this, really nothing that Neko faction could do to stop them. I said that based on their draft, I thought they had a strong front line, but they just get melted instantly, opening up a chance for Astral Esports to now go for that Ghost Wing.
So right now, we just see AE being so dominant, so confident right now, going for that Ghost Wing, knowing that they are in a 5v2 situation. They are sitting it for the win, and right now, they are just going to get that Ghost Wing and be prepared for the next fight. Right now, if AE manages to get the next fight, this might be game for Astral Esports and 2-0.
Yeah,
But
and
we just have to see on how it goes down.
Yeah, you can see them already just pushing the mid lane in, and they can probably take this within a second. They have Scarf there, really good at sieging. They've got the tower open. Looks like they're going to rotate up to the top. There's vision over the wall. Suri could consider going for the pool, but decides not to instead. Lets Astral back out for now. Kind of a smart play for the side of Neko faction. They don't really want to fight unless they have the advantage like right now where they catch out Heedy and Gia alone, but very quick rotation from the rest of Astral. It'd be best to wait another 30 or 15 seconds just to let that Ghost Wing buff fade off so they have a more favorable fight. But they don't want to wait too long as Black Claw soon to be back up on the rise. And at that point, if Neko continue to play like they have and play back and play passive, Astral Esports are more than likely just going to make their move. As you can see, moving through the enemy jungle here, moving towards that Black Claw. Backs coming out from Neko faction. They're not ready for the steal. Astral Esports can take this Black Claw within a matter of seconds. We're 20 minutes into the game. Most of them are getting that towards that full build point. And there's going to be no contest at all from Neko. They're now forced to use boots to back away. This could be a possible fight for them, but Astral playing it slow. They know that we have Black Claw pushing into your mid lane. We're just going to push your top down. Let the Black Claw do its thing. Leaving Rolly with Deity Stars should be enough, but they need to be careful as the rest of the team not too far away.
Coming up from Astral Esports.
Yep.
Right
There's going to be the Chrono Trigger, Chrono Drive onto the... early Fountain actually being used by Astral Esports. And now we see Yates diving in onto the backline, pops the stun. It's going to get blocked out, but Kensei already going to pick up a kill onto Finn. And Neko faction just getting pushed back into their base. But look at this, the turnaround from the Magnus. Needs to be careful of the Adagio that just dives in on them. But Neko faction hold it off with the ace. They have the damage to take down the Black Claw, and they have one more chance in this game. Ghostwing going to be up in a second. Is a possibility. No vision, no cameras placed down yet from the side of Astral. So Neko, they don't have to be worried about possible backdoor. I'd say just go for Ghostwing, especially while you still have these respawns down, these death timers. But this is once again, our Neko faction going to be quick enough? Are they going to make the decision? I really want to see SLlCE start this up. We see Hades start it. SLlCE is going to get onto it, but Kensei could get there in time if he decides to. He's going to have to clear the bot lane for now. But, okay, Neko faction, they are going to get this. I really want to see them, when they get these opportunities, to be more proactive. I'm not complaining because everyone on the team of Neko faction got the buff in the end. It didn't get stolen, but it's times when Astral are in control where you just see how quickly they make those decisions and how assertive they are.
Right now, the goalie is certainly closing up by quite a bit. It went from 6k to 2k just in a matter of minutes. And right now, Neko just has to stick together and try to look for a good fight right now. They have the Ghostwing on their side, and this is certainly a good position for them to plan a comeback against Astral Esports. They're just gonna play a little safe right now, gonna clear the lane.
Oh, Rolly, not sure about that pull. The rest of his team not really around, and here's going to be Seri. War Treads are forced to be used. OP trying to stay on them. Really, Neko faction should be looking for a fight while they have this Ghostwing buff, but they just back off instead. As you said, they're playing it passive, they're clearing the lanes, but I'm not sure how well that's going to work out for them because Astral have them pushed up to their base for the most part, and they have control over that Black Claw area. So really, Neko missing out on a possible opportunity, but I guess they don't want to risk it. The only thing is that if another Black Claw pushes into their base, will they be able to defend it? Siri moving into the front line here for Neko faction. We see Heedy already with a decent bit of health taken away from them. There's going to be the pull. Forces out the block. That could be good for later in the further engagement as OP moving forwards. The Neko faction pushing Astral back. There's going to be the engagement as Kensei jumping onto the backline of Neko faction. Rolly trying to find them too. Pops the ultimate and the stun. Kensei gets taken down. The trade for the Grumpjaw. And now we see OP going very low, having to back out. Seri almost caught out there. And Astral more or less in control of this. Crayon still has the ult, gonna pop it over the wall. Helps pick up the kill onto the Yates. And there's going to be SLlCE. Full health on that Gwen, but no energy. Needs to be careful chasing down Deity Stars as Chili hasn't backed off just yet. Black Claw up once again. Astral, are they going to start it with just 3 members? I think it's a bit risky. They have the vision, at least for now. They know what will be going on. Another 13 seconds until Kensei is back. But the bigger question is Neko. Are they going to start the Black Claw? They're positioning around it, getting ready to do so. SLlCE decides to stop this one up, so Neko, heeding my advice, hopefully, have gone for the play. But Yates obviously able to join in the fight at any moment with that global ultimate. Let's see.
Neko right now just starting to be able to get their advantages with the fight.
Oh, his Deity Stars using the Dragon's Breath actually gets pulled into the pit. Not sure if that's what you want, but Magnus able to secure it, and they pick up the kill onto the Scarf as well. Looking good for Neko faction, but Lance will fall to the Jewel. Jewel now trying to chase down Chili. Look at the base! Heedy is in the base of Neko faction, and no one is there to stop him, but Ultimate is going to destroy the Crystal, and that's going to be Astral Esports taking the game. So completely unaware. Heedy didn't even have TP boots. They were just able to position themselves into the enemy base. Oh my, oh wow. That's, I think, good for Chile to make that engagement there, to keep everyone busy on the side of Neko faction, not just let them back instantly. But Heedy on that weapon power Adagio really took that Bang Crystal down very quickly. It would have been hard to do anyway. So GG, well played. Astral Esports, realizing Neko faction was starting to catch up towards the end there, made the
So as you can
smarter
see,
play, and
Deities
yeah.
stars going from Crucible. Apparently, they allowed their
Oh,
midlaner to
triple
just go for the
Crucible.
Crucible. Yes.
Hmm.
There's another triple Crucible on the side of Neko faction too. So they are really looking to block each other's crowd control ability during the fight.
Yeah, and you
But
can see that's them really responding to the current meta right now of being very CC focused, and they really respect that. We could, yeah, both teams triple Crucible, so understanding that. But it's interesting to see for the side of Neko faction, you have it on picks like Grumpjaw, Lance, and Finn, which is kind of understandable. Whereas to see it on Deity Stars is a bit of a surprise. Maybe you would expect to see it on Gia, but they didn't go there. They ended up going for the Slumbering Husk first. So maybe it was just due to I don't really understand why that is. That's just really supporting your team there. Well played by Astral. I guess it's the smarter buy to go for a block that can block everything for your team, especially against AoE CC, like that Magnus's CC, that of Grumpjaw slow, and well, you wouldn't use it on a slow, that of Lance's root and Finn's quibble and pull, in fact. So Astral were very prepared for that, but as you saw, Neko faction almost took it at the end. Game 2 was a lot closer for them. I would have said just be a bit more aggressive in the early game, if anything.
I feel this is a very game two was a really good performance by Neko faction. Even you have to remember that they are against the top seed in the tournament and they are
Hmm.
able to hold it out this far in game two. That is a really nice performance by the side of Neko faction, and you got to respect that. And yeah, we'll be seeing Neko faction play next week
Hey, look at this.
against
We're pretty much on.
KDA.
Ooh, so Neko faction against KDA. No bias there, huh, SLlCE?
No bias there because both sides, one side has a roamer that pulls out of meta picks, and the other side has a very beautiful, well synergized team. We just got to see whose team plays out better and the draft for next week. So tune in next if you guys want to watch KDA versus Neko faction. But right now we got to jump into our second match for today.